This is experiment 3, storing and reading data. At this point, you've added some additional components. You've added the 8155 RAM, I/O, and timer, some additional switches, some additional passive components, plus 4 dome switches. It's a good point to have a friend check your work. Look carefully underneath your board. Make sure that you haven't caused a solder bridge, that you actually have soldered all the components in place, and that the components are oriented correctly and in their proper places. In addition, prior to taping down the 4 dome switches, make sure that you've cleaned this area over here again with isopropyl alcohol. Doing so will prevent you from having intermittent issues with those switches. Now, the essence of this lab is pretty simple. What you're going to do is supply the 8155 with 8 address bits. Those 8 address bits are on switches AD0 through AD7, and those 8 address bits address one of the 256 locations in the RAM. For example, prior to running this tape, we have stored some patterns into the first few locations of the RAM. At address 0, all the switches are down, and I will latch that into the 8155 by pressing the ALE button. That's the address latch enable that will later come off the CPU. So now, address 00000000, or simply address 0, has been latched into the address register of the 8155. So it knows that we want to read that data. When I press the read button, you can see the far right LED come on, all the others are off. So the data stored there is 00000001. If I go to the next memory address, latch that in, and read it, you can see that at address 1, this binary data is stored there. Likewise, address 2, latch it, read it, address 3, latch it, read it. So that's the essence of the memory lab. Now, at this point, if this is working, you should feel pretty good because you have most of the peripherals necessary for a working computer. You now have RAM working, which is going to be needed to store your programs and for the operating system of the trainer to work. So, good work, and we'll see you in the next lab.